Today's reading is all about the surprise that is around the corner for you. So to give you a brief overview of what we are digging into in today's reading, we're going to look at the surprise itself. We are also going to see how you can prepare for it. And we are going to find out the hidden opportunity that this surprise entails. So lots to get into. Hopefully it's going to be a really interesting read. So yeah, I hope you are as excited as I am. But as always, we're going to start off by looking at the piles that you get to choose from. This card represents pile number 1. This card represents pile number 2. And this card represents pile number 3. If you are already 100% sure, or almost 100% sure, which pile is yours, then you can go into the description box down below and click on the timestamp that you need. But if you are somewhat new to pick a pile readings, or if you are just not sure how you should go about picking the right pile for you, then I would first off recommend getting yourself to a quiet, undisturbed area. So try and make sure that there are no distractions around you, no loud noises or anything like that, so that you could take a few moments and get into your present moment so that you could get centered and really feel what is going on in your body, so that you could connect with your body and your physical sensations. You can close your eyes for a few seconds as well. Take some deep breaths so that you could really tune in and get connected with your physical vessel. And once you feel that you have calmed yourself down a bit and you are peaceful, then open your eyes, look at the piles again, and see what is happening. What are you being drawn to? What is your eye landing on or staying on for a bit longer? What are you feeling in your gut? What are you hearing maybe in your head? There may be all of these different ways that your intuition speaks to you. Maybe you just have this nudge that tells you that this is the pile that you should watch. Trust that intuitive voice. But as I also always say, please don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 1. My name is Helen, and I just want to say a huge thank you for being here, for choosing to spend your time with me. And also, if you have been supporting this channel with likes or subscribes or comments or anything like that, I truly appreciate that as well, and thank you for doing that. But let's get into the reading. So we're going to start off with looking at the card that you chose, and I'm going to feel my way through it intuitively, see what is coming up. And some of these keywords or messages, they should give you some sort of information, some inkling about whether this is your pile or not. So hopefully they speak to something that you are currently experiencing, or just something that you resonate with at this time. So we have this, and is it lonelier at night? And I do feel this sense of nighttime being really important. So at this time, you could be struggling a bit with sleep, or maybe you are more of a night owl at this time and just finding yourself getting more active when your body should actually be calming down and getting ready for sleep. But it feels like something about nighttime is getting you more anxious. The thing is that I feel like it's not normal for you. I feel like it's not something that you have always had, at least for the majority of you. Maybe for some of you, this is, again, just the way that you are wired. But I do feel that it is out of the norm for most of you. And I feel this twofold message. I feel like for some of you, this restlessness is manifesting as you sort of being stuck in your head and having all of these racing thoughts and maybe a lot of these worries just crop up out of nowhere, and they are very intrusive, and it's very difficult for you to shut those thoughts out or to not pay attention to them. And so it feels like this tossing and turning in bed sort of energy where you are unable to shut your mind off. But for others of you, I feel like it's manifesting in a way that makes you super active. So it's almost like you want to start doing a lot of things. You want to start doing chores, or I don't know, maybe some of you are exercising or doing something to kind of physically tire yourself or wear yourself out so that you would be able to fall asleep. Like you could tire yourself out that much that you would finally just go out like a light when your head hits the pillow or something like that. So yeah, I feel this difference in how you are handling this night owl energy right now. Maybe some of you are also just watching something on the telly or watching some shows on your computer or something on your phone, so that again you could just kind of numb your mind out for as long as you need until you finally just kind of fall asleep. But yeah, there's something about just having this difficulty with your thoughts, I feel. And because of that, because of some of these sleep issues that you are having, it's also difficult to function properly during the day, which I feel is not the case for those of you who are maybe used to that sort of thing. If you have always had fewer hours of sleep than everyone else, and if you have always been more active at nighttime, then maybe that message isn't for you. But for others of you for whom this is somewhat of a recent thing, that is definitely the case. So yeah, anyway, that is just what is coming up. I also just heard reminiscing as well. So maybe some of you are reminiscing about someone when you are in that space of like having all of these racing thoughts and you can't go to sleep. So yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there as well. But anyway, that is just the intuitive part, as I said. We are going to look at these oracle cards as well to give us a more clear overview of what it is that you are dealing with at this time. So what is the state of things in your life generally at this time? So hopefully you will resonate more with these messages, or it will be easier for you to understand whether this is your pile or not. So we have some intuitive cards. We have your tribe, your vibe, the Mad Hatter, endless serendipity, and another intuitive card. So pile number one, I am looking at these cards and it feels to me like you are spending a lot of time in your own little cave, I almost want to say, because it feels like you are trying to look after yourself in a way that you would be able to give your body, your mind, your emotional body as well, what it needs to feel good. Because I feel like there is this this level of like trying to nurture yourself or trying to take extra good care of yourself, and it may be tied to the thing that is going on with your sleep cycle, or you know, just these thoughts that are cropping up for you, or these worries and everything that you are dealing with mentally. So it feels like that's why these cards could be portraying this sense of you trying to take very good care of your sort of physical body. Now, I'm going to start off with these two cards, both of these intuitive cards, because basically what they are saying is that, first off, you seem to be spending a lot of time at home, or again, if home is not necessarily the place where you feel safest and most comfortable, then whatever that place is for you, but it has to be some sort of safe haven. It has to be, again, a comforting hermit's cave for you, or somewhere where you can be yourself fully and freely and just feel at ease. And I feel like that sense of feeling at ease is really important, especially with the second intuitive card here. which seems to indicate that you are trying to maintain this sense of peace or keep yourself at this peaceful state. And again, I do feel like it's much more easy for you to do during the day, but I feel like it gets more difficult at nighttime. And that's why I feel it's so interesting that there is an actual, I feel like it's a sunset. I don't know why. Maybe it's a sunrise, but when I looked at it first, the first thing that came to me was a sunset. So yeah, it's kind of tying me back to this whole energy of like nighttime. But anyway, that is that sort of coziness, trying to keep yourself in a good environment sort of space, or that sort of thing that is coming through. We also have this your tribe, your vibe, and that is also another confirmation that you seem to be emphasizing the connections, or you seem to be focusing on the connections that truly make you feel good, and spending time with people or within certain groups, or yeah, I don't know why, but I also got the idea of like connecting with people online. So it might not even be that you are physically connecting with them, but that you are a part of some sort of community or group online. And that is also something that you sort of gain positive energy from, because it is obviously talking about like-minded people and people that you share some sort of common interests with. And maybe, again, it could be like your physical group of friends as well, someone that you hang out with on a regular or semi-regular basis, who just sort of see you for who you are and accept you for who you are. It feels like that's also the thing that you are sort of focusing on the most, especially, again, I'm kind of jumping around here, but especially again, because of this endless serendipity card, I do feel that you are trying to pay attention to the signs, trying to follow your gut or follow what makes you feel good. I feel like that's basically the only thing that you kind of can do at this time, because I feel like whatever this thing is that is going on with your mind or with your head or with your sleeping schedule, it seems to be something that you can't really pinpoint or put a finger on of like why this is happening. And so you seem to be just trying to do what's best for you by following your sort of physical body or following the intuitive nudges that you get. And that's why I also kind of brought this card out again, because I feel like it is talking about you being in very strong contact with your physical body. And maybe you are exercising, maybe you are doing something to really get in touch with your body and sort of learn to understand the way that it communicates with you even better. And so, yeah, I just feel signs with this endless serendipity. It's like you are looking for the signs that what it is that you are doing is the right thing. And I feel like the way that you can see that is by how something makes you feel. So if something makes you feel good, if something makes you feel at ease and peaceful, then it's the right thing for you. And I feel like you are sort of chasing that at this time, or focusing on that. And we have this Mad Hatter card in the center, which is basically just saying that you may be living in a way that is more eccentric or more out of the norm, doing things in your own way, or yeah, maybe even like creating this other world for yourself that maybe some people don't understand. Or it could also just talk about the chaos that is going on in your mind that is the cause of this this stirring in your head as well, that we were talking about in the intuitive part. But just generally speaking, it all seems to tie in and point towards you maybe sort of being a bit more separate from the traditional societal way of living. Especially at this time, you seem to be kind of doing your own thing and trying to be in contact with yourself as much as you can, trying to surround yourself with good people, with the people that make you feel good, that make you, again, feel accepted and seen. And yeah, you just seem to be taking care of yourself and nurturing yourself in order to eliminate whatever this thing is in your mind. So I don't know, that is what is coming through, pile number one. Hopefully this made sense to someone, and if you resonated with this, if you recognized yourself in this description, then it is a very good chance, or I should say it's a very good indication that this is your pile. So definitely stay tuned for these tarot card messages next, because we're going to take a look at what is around the corner for you. So let's start off with looking at the surprise that is around the corner. Okay. So we have the Magician and the Seven of Swords that came out in reverse. And we also have the Nine of Wands as the underlying energy. I'm going to point out the zodiac signs as they come out in this reading, so that if you have significant placements in those signs, or they're just important signs in your birth chart, then it may be further confirmation that this is your reading. So the Magician is the strongest energy here because it's Major Arcana, and this card is tied to Gemini and Virgo. We also have the Seven of Swords, which is Aquarian energy, and the Nine of Wands, which is Sagittarius. The most sort of obvious and on the surface message here is that you seem to be figuring out what it is that is ailing you, mentally speaking. And I love that we're getting the Seven of Swords, because that is specifically talking about the realm of the mind and the thoughts and everything that goes on in our heads, because that's the sword suit energy. And with the Magician, and especially with it being tied to mercurial energy, it's further confirmation that you seem to be coming into some sort of understanding about what it is that has been hiding in your unconscious, or what it is that has been trying to come to the surface, that has been disturbing your mental peace. And especially with the Magician, this is all about taking control of that as well, or being able to direct that energy and I feel like get rid of it in a way that transmute it so that it doesn't have all of this power over you anymore. Because I feel like, you know, once you are aware of something, you kind of take the power back from whatever that thing is. And we have this Nine of Wands as the underlying energy. And I love the depiction of this card because it just seems to, there we go. I love the depiction of this card because it so perfectly illustrates the aspect of being so tired and being so worn out, but kind of having to hang in there. And so it feels like this whole surprise or the solution is tied to the thing that has been wearing you out the most, that has been causing you all of this overwhelm, and that has been pushing you to your limits. But again, with the Nine of Wands, this says that you are very, very close to being done with this thing. And yeah, I feel like it's such a sort of hopeful message in that regard, that this whole thing is not going to bother you for very much longer, it seems like. But I also wanted to feel through these cards in a different sort of context and kind of zoom out of this more specific thing that we were talking about. So if we kind of zoom out, the Magician and the Seven of Swords can also talk about someone sort of coming in to help you, someone sharing a very vital or just very important and valuable information with you that somehow opens your eyes to something that you have been blind to before. Because the Seven of Swords, especially when it comes out in reverse, it talks about uncovering something that has been sort of hidden in the shadows, or that you haven't been able to see. So this Magician can also talk about just outside help or outside expertise that proves to be very useful. And the final message here is that there seems to be some sort of resolution or progress being made with something that maybe has been kind of in the background, something that you maybe have been postponing or that you haven't wanted to deal with. I feel like there is some sort of positive progression with that, where you seem to sort of be able to take back control, or I feel like this level of energy or willpower is returning to you. Again, with the Nine of Wands, it seems to hint at something that has potentially been, again, somewhere at the back of your mind, something that has been a bit of a burden or something that has been weighing you down. but that you have felt like you have to deal with by yourself. So yeah, it feels like there are all of these different sort of sub levels to this surprise, but generally it seems to hint at things becoming a bit more easy to handle. And I feel like you are able to, again, take back control over the situation, see things for what they are, see things much more clearly, have some sort of understanding, and act accordingly in order to get the results that you want, in order to make the necessary changes, or again, take some sort of action that would set you free from this thing that has been weighing you down, that has been tiring you. But let's also see what you can do, how you can prepare for this surprise. Okay. Right. Interesting. So we have the Emperor in reverse, the Chariot, and the Eight of Cups. Sign-wise, we have Cancer and Aries, and we also have some Pisces with the Eight of Cups. By the way, before we move forward, I also wanted to say, because as I was shuffling, I got the message regarding the Seven of Swords that it could very literally talk about some sort of secret that is also going to be revealed, or some sort of information that was hidden from you before that, again, proves to be very significant in you moving forward in the way that you want to move forward, or you sort of taking back control, taking back power from a situation. So I just wanted to point that out as well. So the first thing I want to point out is that we have two water sign cards coming out, the Chariot and the Eight of Cups. And I do feel that it's emphasizing the importance of your own feelings, your own inner landscape, and paying attention to that, honoring that, which I feel like you are doing anyway, because I think we were talking about it before as well, that you seem to be very much in tune with your body and with your intuition and following your gut and all of that. So it seems to be something that the Spirit is encouraging that you keep doing, especially following the things that feel like are truly lighting you up, that are creating some sort of spark in you, and leaving behind anything that doesn't feel good, that doesn't feel right, that seems to be draining you of life force, or yeah, that just doesn't ring true anymore. And the interesting thing is that we also have this Emperor card that is coming out in reverse here. If there are outside opinions, or like someone else trying to dictate or express their authority over your life, or trying to direct how you should do things, then I feel like with the Chariot especially, this is again saying that it's really important to kind of take charge of your own life, or to be in the driver's seat of your own life, instead of listening to outside authority or putting too much weight on what someone else is saying that you should do or not do. Because again, this heavy water sign energy is giving me the sense that you are so very well in tune with what you actually need at this time. You seem to be in touch with your own inner compass, and it's just about trusting that. It's just about following it, and trying your best to ignore if that doesn't make sense to someone else. Because this seems to be a deeply personal thing that you are going through anyway. It seems to be something that you have to figure out for yourself. And of course, I'm not saying that you cannot look for outside guidance or outside information or something like that, but just I feel like in this instance, Spirit is saying that your own gut instinct or your own intuition, everything that you are feeling on the inside that like tells you if something like is right for you or something doesn't feel right to you, that voice is so much more accurate, that voice is so much more important than someone else telling you how they think that you should do things, or what they think is right for you. So yeah, that's really the best way that you can prepare, and I feel like that's something that you are already kind of doing as well. So you are primed for this surprise. But also let's see what sort of hidden opportunity does this surprise entail. Wow, we have 2 cards that turned over really quickly. You have a lot of major arcana, by the way. It's just interesting to see. So I feel like whatever this information is that you are uncovering for yourself, it feels like it's a truly important sort of discovery for the journey that you are on in this lifetime, for your soul growth as well. We have the Moon, the 4 of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. So we're getting more fire sign energy and more water sign energy. Pisces is the most significant card here with the Moon, but we also have Aries coming out once again. So I feel a very sweet and concrete message with the Moon and the 4 of Wands. And basically it says that this surprise entails the hidden opportunity to kind of release or let out some sort of hidden aspect of you, something that you are maybe afraid to acknowledge, afraid to show to people, and maybe even afraid or ashamed to accept as well. So it seems like it's talking about some sort of shadowy aspect within you that was part of your unconscious, or that I feel like currently is part of your unconscious, something that you just are not aware of yet, but I feel like you will become aware of it. But this thing that I'm kind of getting a different aspect to it as well. So some of you are definitely not aware of it, but I feel like others of you are aware of something, but you just don't like it. You don't want to, again, you don't want to share it. You don't want to reveal it to other people because of how you feel they would react, or there is a fear of rejection here as well. But I feel like there is actually something that you can learn to really embrace with this 4 of Wands, and feel that it is something to be accepted. It's something to be appreciated, even something to be made peace with. So I feel like you are going to integrate this aspect of you that maybe you tried to shun before, or that again you just weren't aware of and maybe you were afraid to look at. But it could have been something that was driving a lot of your actions, that was driving a lot of your behavior, and that was also having an impact on how you even saw things, what your perspective on life was like. And I feel like now that this whole reason why these thoughts and why this mental chaos is coming about is so that you couldn't ignore it anymore, so that you couldn't push it aside. And I feel like once you actually address it, once you look at it, once you gain awareness, I feel like that's when acceptance can happen. And once that acceptance happens, and once that integration happens, I feel like true magic is going to occur. There is something really powerful about that level of acceptance, and seeing how that part of you adds to you and adds to your nature rather than takes away from it. And the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck is just such a beautiful underlying energy, because this is a beautiful, wholesome, confident, self-loving, self-respecting energy, which I feel like you are coming into. Or again, we're talking about this hidden potential, this hidden opportunity that this surprise entails. And it seems to say that this is the energy that you can get to. This is the self-image that you can attain if you so choose. And I feel like the choice aspect is down to like whether you want to integrate it, whether you want to embrace this aspect of you, or this aspect of your unconscious that you haven't been wanting to accept or look at before. But yeah, I feel like once you look at this thing, once you see it for what it is, this thing that is driving all of this mental chaos, I feel like it's not going to be that scary anymore. And I feel like there is, again, this level of understanding why that is, why that became some sort of a mental mechanism for you. And again, it seems to sort of take take control back into your hands rather than you being controlled by whatever goes on in your mind. So wow, pile number 1, a very deep reading. I have to say, at least it felt like that to me. But anyway, we are going to close the reading out with some last supportive mantras for you from Spirit. So let's see what they want you to take away from this reading. What sort of mantras of self-care are they going to leave you with? Whoa. Okay. We have exactly 2. Oh my goodness. I love this message. I love this message so much. And I mean, you seriously, like, you cannot make this stuff up, because we were talking about your tribe and everything like that. And the card that you got is, sorry, I already forgot. I surround myself with people who really see me. I mean, isn't this just the best message? Hang on. There we go. I surround myself with people who really see me. Yeah, that is, see, that's a golden piece of message right here. So yeah, again, the people that you surround yourself with is such an important thing, and having this level of acceptance around you with everything that you entail, seeing the good, the bad, the ugly, and still accepting everything that you are, that is such a beautiful thing to have. And so yeah, I feel like Spirit is just reiterating how important it is to feel that sort of support, especially as you are traversing this more challenging mental journey right now. And we also have my body works so hard for me. See, I feel like this message is just such a beautiful one, because it again seems to confirm the message that you are very much in touch with your body at this time, and that it is sending you signals, it's sending you signs of, again, what is right for you, what isn't right for you. So yeah, truly honor that, pay attention to that. And at the bottom of the deck, we have, I will be gentle with myself. See, again, I love this message, because Spirit is just reminding you that it is super important to not be too hard on yourself, to not demand too much of yourself, because you are on this journey, and you are in this process of discovering something quite huge, quite substantial. So yeah, it's not something to rush yourself through. It's not something to punish yourself for. So yeah, this whole space of taking care of yourself and giving yourself what you need and nurturing yourself as best as you can, I feel like that's something that Spirit definitely wants you to keep doing. But pile number 1, oh my goodness, I'm getting tongue-tied. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you found these messages useful and that they resonated for you. If you are still here, by the way, leave me a little butterfly. Leave me a butterfly emoji in the comment section so that I would know that you made it all the way to this point of the reading and that you hung out with me until the end. It always means so much to me when I see that, you know, some of you actually do that. So yeah, it's amazing. And I also hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves, and bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 2. My name is Helen, and thank you so much for hanging out with me right now. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your energy. And I also want to say a huge thank you for any likes, subscribes, comments, anything like that. I truly appreciate all of the support that you have shown me and this channel. But let's get straight to it. So I want to feel my way through the card that you chose intuitively, as always, and see what is coming through. So some of these keywords, some of these messages, they should resonate with you at this time, or they should at least ring true to some degree. We have this love forgives distance, and this feels like a very self-explanatory sort of energy, which means that I'm getting this huge energy of missing someone, of being away from someone that you love, or having this, having this physical distance between you. Okay, I just got not necessarily physical, so it could be energetic as well. So, okay, maybe for some of you it's more complex than that. Maybe it's that you are actually in the vicinity of the person that you love, but you feel like you are 100 miles away from them. So yeah, it could be one or the other, but distance is definitely the key word here. Some of you could actually be in a long distance relationship with someone, or, even if it's not a romantic connection, it could be that you are just separated from the people that you love at this time for whatever reason. Maybe you are studying abroad, so you are away from your family and friends. Maybe you had to relocate for work or for some sort of project that you have to do overseas or in another city, so that you aren't able to see the people that you love as often as you would like to. So regardless of what the circumstances are, it feels like you just aren't able to connect with the people that you love or the person that you love. And there's a lot of this just wishing that you could be with them. I feel like there is a lot of this, like, I'm looking at this dragonfly, and the interesting thing is that I'm getting the message of like illusion or imagination. So for those of you who are in a long distance relationship, or like you are not able to see the person that you love, it feels like you may be trying to connect with them as much as you can, like online or FaceTiming, doing all of that thing where you could have some sort of contact with them. So I feel like that's something that is obviously keeping the relationship and the connection alive, but you also seem to be kind of envisioning or imagining yourself with them in certain instances, I feel, when you are just sort of going about your day or doing day-to-day things. And I feel like there are a lot of these instances when you sort of think of them regarding something that you see or hear or encounter, and just sort of envision them in your mind's eye being there with you and how they would react to it or something like that. So it almost feels like there is some part of this connection that is happening in your imagination. And for those of you who resonate more with having this energetic distance with the person that you love, I feel like, again, there is this element of you envisioning or thinking about how things would be, or how things could be, or maybe how things were before. So a lot of this mental imagination and sort of living in your head, or having to exist in your head regarding that connection, or having that connection exist in your head or something like that. And I also want to say potential. The word potential is something that keeps coming up as well. So again, for those of you who are in a connection where you are maybe feeling this energetic distance from your loved one, it could be that you are trying to see or trying to focus on the potential of this connection and the potential of this person. And maybe you are doing that more than you are actually focusing on the reality of the situation or something like that. But it feels like that's something that is giving you hope. That's something that is like keeping you going, so that you are not giving up on this person. You're not giving up on this connection. But yeah, that's the intuitive part. So again, if this is not like 100% ringing true for you, then don't worry, because we are going to take a look at these oracle cards as well. And these oracle cards are going to tell us, hopefully a bit more clearly, what is the state of things in your life at this time? What are the general energies that you are dealing with? So hopefully you should resonate with this much more easily. We have some intuitive cards. We have sacrifices. The lobster quadrille. I'm not sure how to pronounce it exactly, so I'm sorry if I am butchering that word. There is always a way. And yeah, another intuitive card. Okay. Pile number 2. I'm getting so many confirmations from these cards, but let's just get through them. So first off, I actually want to start from the other side of the row of cards here, because we have this quite solemn looking and quite a disturbing looking card or image. And it does say that you are currently dealing with some sort of a roadblock, or some, like, it feels like you have actually hit an obstacle, a wall, if you will. And I mean, it's so crazy to me that we also get this other card, which actually shows a wall being broken through. So it is clear that at this time you are dealing with some sort of obstacle or challenge that is hindering you from moving forward in a productive or seamless way. And with there is always a way, there is this forcefulness, there is this push through sort of energy that you seem to possess at this time. And I do feel that it is very strongly coming through on your part, where you seem to be the one who is wanting things to progress, wanting things to move forward, wanting things to develop in some way, wanting to find a solution, or wanting to make things work no matter what. And the thing is that I feel like you are trying to be really creative. You're trying to be very imaginative. That's why I also feel that it's so funny that we are getting this card, because we were talking about this whole aspect of imagination being a somewhat of an important part of this scenario as well. That was coming through with the intuitive part, at least. So clearly you are trying to be playful. You are trying to come up with creative solutions, trying to come up with ways to keep this thing going, to keep it lively and more positive, find the good things in it, find the things that bring joy and fulfillment. And also maybe, you know, I find it really interesting that we have this hugely strong contrast between all of these cards that are kind of tying into this whole green theme that we have with this card over here. Why is this camera not focusing? Oh my God, it's driving me nuts. Okay. So yeah, it's all of this greenish energy, or greenish, green colored, more of these like subdued and earthy tones that are coming through over here. And then we have this one splash of color. And so this is kind of tying me in, or tying me back to the dragonfly image, or this dragonfly symbol of, you sort of wanting to focus on the good, wanting to enhance or bring that the good things, the positive things, the joyful things, bring those to the surface and kind of focus on those more than what is actually going on. And I feel like, with the sacrifices card, this is a very clear message that you are making sacrifices at this time. Obviously, a very clear message is the one that has to do with the physical distance thing. So obviously you are making sacrifices, and not just in the physical sense, but also in the like emotional sense and spiritual sense and all of that. There seem to be a lot of sacrifices. Maybe there are even like financial sacrifices being made as well. It's obvious that you are having to give up certain comforts and certain pleasures in order for this thing to continue. And I also even feel, especially with both of these cards together, that you could be sort of masking your own pain, or masking your own sadness, or some of the difficult emotional feelings that you could be experiencing as a result of this distance. I feel like you are not actually allowing the other person to see how much you are impacted by this. So it almost feels like you are putting on this, not really a show, but it's not that you are lying or that you are deceiving the other person or something like that. It just feels like you're just trying to mask the hurt and the sadness and the longing that you feel. Because I feel like if you were to let on how this thing is actually affecting you, I feel like it would sort of bring the connection down, or at least like you seem to think that it would bring the connection down, or it would make things worse, not necessarily better. Like you seem to think that it wouldn't help the situation in any way. And so that's why it feels like you were trying to put on this mask of like, you know, can-do attitude and have all of these, again, this positivity that you seem to that you seem to portray. And with the lobster quadrille, this is just basically talking about you dancing along to whatever this whole situation demands, even if sometimes these things that you are being required to do are things that don't make sense to you, are things that you don't maybe necessarily want to do, but you seem to be, again, making sacrifices in order for this connection to stay alive, or in order for this other person to get what they need, to get what they want. Because I do feel that for some of you, this whole distance is a result of the other person that you have this connection with pursuing some sort of dream of theirs, following their own dream path or dream goal or something like that. And even though it's affecting you as well, you seem to want to keep the focus on them and not make this whole thing about you. So yeah, that is what was coming through from these cards. Hopefully it made things somewhat more clear for you, and it is easier for you to see whether this pile resonates with you or it doesn't. And if it does resonate, then definitely stay tuned for these tarot cards, because now we get to the most fun and exciting part of this reading. We're going to look at what sort of surprise is around the corner for you. So let's see. Whoa. Okay, we're getting so many cards, but I guess we are taking all of them. Wow, a lot of swords cards. So again, huge confirmation that there is a lot of cerebral energy at play right now, a lot of thinking going on, a lot of sort of things happening energetically or like through the air. And also just a lot to do with communication as well. But let's go through the cards. So we have the Four of Swords that came out in reverse, the Two of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Three of Swords, with the King of Cups as the underlying energy. So sign-wise, I'm also going to point out the zodiac signs that are coming through. We have Scorpio with the King of Cups coming through the strongest, but we also have heavy Libra and Pisces with the Eight of Cups. I am feeling a very kind of a straightforward message here, pile number 2. And basically the message is that I feel like the surprise has to do with the person that you are in this connection with actually feeling the same way that you are feeling. So the thing is, I feel like in this connection, you haven't really expressed, like we were talking about, you haven't really expressed how sad this distance makes you. And you seem to be trying to pump things up or make them more joyful, make them more easy breezy. But I feel like actually it's affecting you a lot more than you are letting on. And I feel like it's the same thing for this other person. I feel like the King of Cups is talking about the other person. Regardless of their gender, this King of Cups just seems to talk about the person who has a lot of these feelings for you as well. Or again, this is just the person of your affections. So I do feel that, especially as this King of Cups is coming out upright, they seem to very much be sharing the feelings that you are having as well. But maybe it's just difficult to word them or to express them. But I'm going to start with the first one. The Four of Swords in reverse is saying that there is going to be this breaking away from the period of silence or this unmoving energy where things are just going along and kept at this steady pace. But again, this Four of Swords, especially next to the Two of Swords, is saying that I feel this period of inactivity or this period of just, I almost want to say passivity, is coming to an end, or there is going to be this revelation of some sort of the things that have been kept to oneself. And again, I feel like it's coming from this other person's side. So they seem to be opening up about how this whole situation is affecting them too. With the Eight of Cups and the Three of Swords, they are struggling as well. They are struggling with this whole distance aspect. And I feel like they are feeling the pain of this separation as well, regardless of whether this is a physical or an energetic distance. So it feels like this other person is not happy about this state of things as well. And especially with the 8 of Cups, and especially if this is a long distance sort of relationship for you, it seems like this person is really struggling with the aspect of having to have left you. And I feel like they may even be realizing that being away, regardless of what that thing is that they are doing over there, that being away is not actually the answer, that they are not happy there, or that what they thought they were going to find from that thing, from that pursuit, didn't actually give them that. So I almost get this scenario that, again, I'm focusing more on the long distance thing, but let's say that this whole long distance thing is this other person's dream, right? Like that they went to pursue something that they wanted to pursue. The energy coming off of these cards is basically one of, like, if you how should I say it? You don't want to make this other person sad or make them feel guilty for causing you sadness by leaving. So it's like you are, again, putting on a smile, basically making it seem like everything is okay and you are supporting them and you are happy for them and you are making do with not seeing them very much or with all of this distance thing. But because you don't want to make this other person feel guilty or bad about this, or you don't want to like guilt trip them into coming back early and abandoning their dream or something. And I feel like this other person is also putting on a good face because they don't want to disappoint you, or they don't want you to be let down by them and feel like they have failed, or like they have wasted their time or wasted money or wasted whatever, and that all of your sacrifices have been for nothing. So it almost feels like this that both of you are feeling the same thing, but neither of you are actually saying how much it is affecting you emotionally and mentally and spiritually and physically and all of that. But I feel like now that period of silence is going to be broken, and I feel like that surprise may be that this other person is actually struggling too, because maybe they haven't been letting that on, just like you haven't been letting on to them, that this is actually really difficult for you. And yeah, I feel like for some of you, it maybe even resonates for only a small amount of you, but for some of you, this person may actually reveal that they want to come back, that they want to abandon this thing, whatever this thing is, and come back. That is basically what I feel about the surprise. So a lot of information and communication, especially regarding like true feelings. But let's see how you can prepare for this surprise. That should be interesting. Whoa, okay. Oh wow, I am loving this. We have the 8 of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups in reverse. So we are definitely getting this counterpart energy, more confirmation that this is a sort of a relationship thing between you and someone that you obviously care a lot about. Again, they don't have to be a romantic partner or anything like that. But it's clear that it is someone that you care about massively and who cares about you as well. So we have this 8 of Pentacles, which is Virgo energy. The Queen of Cups is Cancer energy. And the Ace of Pentacles is just Earth sign energy. Okay, so with the 8 of Coins and the Queen of Cups coming out in reverse, I feel like how you can prepare is basically by starting to practice actually revealing your emotions, your true emotions. Because the Queen of Cups, especially when she comes out in reverse, there is the energy of overflowing emotions, or actually allowing your emotions to come out as they are. Because I'm just going to turn this over for a second so that you could see the card in its upright position as well, and it would be easier to understand. So the Queen of Cups, when it comes out upright, is very much in control of her emotions, and she's much more reserved with them as well. But when it comes out in reverse, that's when the emotions sort of are not that much in the Queen's control anymore. And I feel like that sort of freedom is something that is really needed here. And the 8 of Pentacles, yeah, just seems to talk about the the need to start practicing, the need to start making this more easy for you to allow your true emotions to be expressed, to allow your true emotions to be heard, rather than feeling like you have to manage everything on your own and you have to keep it to yourself in order not to seem like you are too needy or seem like you are too selfish, or whatever these thoughts could be in your head as to why you shouldn't say how you truly feel, especially when it comes to negative emotions. I feel like you are really good with expressing affection and showing emotion in that sense, but when it comes to things that are ailing you, when it comes to things that you are struggling with, when it comes to things that are worrying you, or again making you feel sad, making you feel alone, making you feel abandoned or something like that, if the more heavy emotional feelings, those may be something that you are either ashamed of or just you don't want to share, so that you wouldn't be like a quote-unquote burden for the other person. But I feel like that's not actually the case at all. So yeah, just practicing sharing, right? So that could be something that you could do, because again, with the Ace of Pentacles, this is basically saying that you can start with these little steps, these little things that you can do and see how it goes, right? So start small and start building on that. But I also do feel a more sort of specific message coming through as well, and a more literal message coming through. Basically, the more specific and literal message is that for some of you, and I am in no way a financial advisor, so again, take this with a grain of salt, a huge grain of salt, but basically with the Eight of Pentacles, there may be the need to start like working in a more stable or routine manner for the ability to put some money aside, with the Ace of Pentacles being the underlying energy here too. Because as I said, for someone, and it may just resonate for one person here, but I feel like for someone, this whole endeavor and this whole sacrifice has also a lot to do with money, and it has a huge financial aspect where maybe a lot of money was put into this, or a lot of money was sacrificed in order for this this dream or this goal to be pursued. And so it may be a bit of a financial blow for this other person to either like come back or just try and like do something else, or like abandon the goal or abandon the project or whatever. So it may be an actual financial blow. So another good idea would be to start thinking about your financial security and preparing for that as well, starting to again save up or think more in that practical, think more in like practical terms as well. So again, that is more of a specific message, and it may only resonate for one of you, but anyway, I felt like I had to put it out there. And finally, let's also see what hidden opportunity does this surprise entail. Whoa, okay. So we have the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the King of Swords, with the Nine of Swords at the as the underlying energy. So a lot of air sign energy once again. We have Gemini and Aquarius, so all air signs are officially on the table. And we also have Sagittarius with the Eight of Wands, and basically all fire sign energy. So on the one hand, I feel like this surprise has the hidden opportunity or the potential to make it more easy for you to actually talk about the truth, actually talk about the more difficult things as well, and open up more about any anxieties, worries, anything like that that you may be battling with your own, with yourself or in your own head. And again, I feel like it may be something that actually both of you share. So talking about it would make things a lot more easy and would help you to get out of that dark or worrisome space a lot more quickly. But yeah, it just feels like it has the potential to help your relationship progress to the next level, where you feel this really strong mental bond as well, or this this connection where you are able to open up about things and say how things truly are, which is a really beautiful thing. But I also feel somewhat of a different message, that for some of you there could also be this hidden opportunity to find something that would spark a whole other trajectory. There could be this idea, or this, again, this spark of imagination, some sort of offer that could come, and it may even come from someone else entirely. The King of Swords could talk about another person, someone who is in a position of authority, someone who has the power to decide things, and someone who is in a leadership position. And they may present some sort of opportunity that may actually excite the both of you, that may actually bring about something that could lead to really exciting things, or really exciting projects, really exciting endeavors. And again, we're talking about fire sign energy. So this is all about movement and taking action, willpower, like actually creating something. This has a lot to do with creative energy, creative endeavors as well. So there may actually be space opened up for something new, for something exciting to come about. So again, with the the Nine of Swords being the underlying energy, there's the potential to put those worries to bed, that you have messed up, or that you have made a huge mistake or something like that. And maybe it's not even on your part, but your person or this other person that you have a connection with, they could be thinking that they messed up massively, or they could be beating themselves up over this whole thing. But there is this massive potential here for actually something really exciting to be born from this whole experience. So wow, that was kind of a short and to the point message. But pile number 2, let's close the reading out with some beautiful oracle card messages too. These are going to be supportive mantras for you from Spirit regarding your reading. So let's see what you can take away from this reading. Whoa, okay. So let's see. We have, today I will find the sweetness in the little things. So this is taking me back to this Ace of Pentacles energy, where I feel like Spirit is advising you to start small and just focus on the small things, the good things, the things that are easy for you to express as well. And I feel like starting from there and working your way to bigger things, to bigger emotional reveals, that may be something that is truly helpful. But today I will find the sweetness in the little things. This is a sweet one. And we also have, my progress is not diminished by my setbacks. Wow, this is also such a powerful message, but also really, really resonant. I feel like it kind of coincides beautifully with what we have been talking about. My progress is not diminished by my setbacks. So even if there has to be some sort of change or some sort of detour that you are taking, again, some of the challenges, some of these obstacles that you are facing, they are part of the whole journey. And even if you encounter some things that slow you down or that make things more difficult, they are still taking you. They are still part of the journey, and you are still progressing. So I love that we are getting the message of progress. I don't know. I just feel like this is such a necessary message. And at the bottom of the deck, we have, I am allowed to rest without guilt. So I don't know who needs this, whether this message is for you, whether this message is for your person, whether this message is for the both of you. But I am allowed to rest without guilt. Hopefully that was useful. But pile number 2, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me and watching this reading. If you are still here, by the way, if you made it all the way to this point, then leave me a paint splash, or I think it's a paint splash. Yeah, leave me this emoji in the comment section so that I would know that you made it all the way to this point and that you got something useful from this reading. I always love seeing how these readings speak to you and what your relationship is with them. So yeah, I hope to see you there. But I also hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves and be good. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 3. My name is Helen, and I just want to say a massive thank you for spending your time with me. I'm so glad that you chose to tune into this reading, and I hope you are excited for these messages. And I also want to say thank you for any support that you have shown this channel, any likes, comments, subscribes, anything like that. I truly, truly appreciate it because it helps me keep this channel going and keep making these readings for you. So anyway, let's get to the messages. You chose this Hope is Like a Hummingbird card, and I'm going to feel my way through it intuitively, see what sort of messages or key phrases I'm picking up, and from these messages, something should resonate for you or slightly ring true. So hopefully it gives you some sort of indication that this is your pile. But if you don't fully resonate, don't worry, we are still going to look at some oracle cards too. But this Hope is Like a Hummingbird, and this whole image is giving me the feeling that it seems like you are trying to keep something fragile alive. It's giving me the message of trying to concentrate on these little moments, these little fleeting instances. And I feel like you are finding the time specifically for these little moments that you yourself seem to create outside of everything that is going on. I'm looking at all of the surrounding imagery and that is around this creature, and it all looks quite turbulent. It looks somewhat harsh, like the waves that are crashing against the stone, also the clouds that are gathering. It all seems quite heavy, and like there is all of this chaotic and electrically charged energy around this creature, and somehow they seem to be able to focus their attention on this hummingbird. You seem to be doing that. Whatever this hummingbird is for you, like whatever the hummingbird symbolizes for you, it feels like it's mostly some sort of feeling, like you are trying to maintain this feeling of positivity or hope or belief in the future and belief in good things. And I feel like it's like you are trying to create this period of peace and relaxation for yourself where you can just tune everything out that is going on around you and just sort of focus on the good. But as I said, it feels like it's these little tiny fleeting moments. It kind of requires you to be intentionally present, to focus your attention specifically, to find the good things, to find the positive things, to find the relaxing things for you and really prioritize them over everything else that is going on. And I feel like it's something like this hummingbird seems to symbolize something that is keeping you going, something that is helping you to stay afloat amid everything that is going on, all of this craziness that seems to surround you at this time. This hummingbird may be a person, so it may be a relationship, something that really grounds you and soothes you. It may be an activity or a hobby of some kind, a passion project of some kind. It may be some sort of like relaxing activity like reading or meditating or listening to some sort of music that calms you down or that takes you out of this everyday noise. It seems to be this ray of light for you at this time. And I feel like it's not necessarily easy to keep your attention focused on it, to keep prioritizing this thing, because again, it feels like it's so small and it can easily get lost in everything else that is going on, especially because I feel like this chaos that is around you is definitely getting to you. It seems to be affecting you emotionally and mentally and physically. And so it's not easy to separate this good thing or this calming thing from everything else, and not allowing, like, to keep it separate, not allow all of that chaos to seep into it and affect that too. But you seem to be trying your hardest to keep it that way. So yeah, anyway, this is just the intuitive part though. So again, don't jump to any conclusions. If this is somewhat iffy for you still, you're not sure whether this is your pile or not, then stay tuned for these oracle card messages. It should be a lot more clear after you hear these. Okay, so we have some intuitive cards. Healthy boundaries. The Lion and the Unicorn. The day you plant the seed. And another intuitive card. Okay. Pile number 3. I think I forgot to mention that these oracle cards are describing the state of things in your life at this time, or what are the general energies that you are dealing with. And looking at these cards, it definitely gives me a confirmation of sorts that you are dealing with some sort of charged energy. Just like I was saying, I'm going to jump around to this card here. We have a very clear depiction of some sort of disconnect, or again, like tension being up in the air. And because we have this woman card as well, that usually symbolizes a very specific person, it does seem to indicate that for some of you, this tense energy that you are experiencing is because of a very specific person. So it could be that a lot of this chaos, a lot of this turmoil is happening between you and someone in your life, someone very important, someone who is a big part of your existence. Or, well, everyday life, I should say. Yeah, it seems like there is some tension, some conflict, especially again, because we have the center card here too, which talks very strongly about some form of opposition happening, where instead of uniting forces and using your strengths in order to create something that would actually benefit the both of you, there seems to be this focusing on the differences, or maybe it's not even that you are focusing on the differences, it just feels like they are so emphasized, and it's kind of difficult to break out of this energy where whoever you have this tension with, it feels triggering. It feels like there is something about this person that just pushes your buttons, and I feel like you have that effect on them as well. So it's kind of difficult to get past that, but it all comes down to where you place your focus. And it feels like as long as you both focus on the animosity or the hostility or this charged up tense energy between you, that sort of energy persists. So we also have this healthy boundaries, and see, that's the thing that is making me feel that you are trying to focus on something else, trying to get yourself away from this tense energy. So it could very well be that you are trying to, do something to get yourself out of that surrounding vibration that you are in. Because I do feel that whoever this person is in your life, it seems to be something that you are very heavily surrounded by. So it's something that you seem to come into contact daily. But just to kind of bring a different sort of context here too, if this card is not specifically talking about a person that you are having some sort of tense relationship with at this time, then it could simply talk about this more feminine energy. And I'm feeling the message of empathic resonance or something, where you could be, maybe you are an empath or a highly sensitive person, and you seem to pick up on the surrounding energies quite easily. So it may, like, if this is not a specific person in your life, then it may also talk about how you are being affected by the chaos and everything that is happening around you, which again, with the Lion and the Unicorn, it also seems to indicate that there is challenging stuff that is happening around you. And again, if this is not a specific person that you have this difficult relationship with, then this Lion and the Unicorn, it may represent someone else's tense relationship or someone else's beef that they have with each other, and that seems to somehow affect you as well, even if you are simply a bystander in that instance. But regardless of how this specifically resonates for you, you are affected by this energy. And with this healthy boundaries, even though you seem to be focusing on creating boundaries and separating yourself from it, as I said in the intuitive part, it doesn't seem to be an easy task for you. And we also have this, the day you plant the seed, whatever this situation is that you are dealing with, it's something that most likely has been going on for a while, or that you have been dealing with for a while. And whatever efforts you are putting into kind of solving this issue or solving the situation and trying to create a better atmosphere or something like that, this card is saying that it's going to take some time, and you seem to be very much aware of it. You seem to realize that the situation that you are dealing with is more complex, that it's not very easily solvable, that it is a longer process. And because of it, I feel like because you are not able to eradicate this tense energy around you very quickly and easily, I feel like that's why you seem to be focusing on this there's something good, there's something that is relaxing, there's something that is calming, something that you can turn to for respite, some peace of mind, some serenity, some feel-good energy. But it also seems to indicate that you are definitely working on trying to resolve this issue, trying to change something so that there wouldn't constantly be this chaotic energy around you. Pile number 3, I hope that these messages made sense to you. I hope that you are now a lot more easily able to sort of see whether this is your pile or not. And if this is your pile, then definitely stay tuned, because now we get to the most interesting part, which is all about the tarot card messages regarding the surprise that is around the corner for you. So let's start off with that and see what the surprise is that is around the corner. Okay, I feel like these 2 cards wanted to turn over. We have the Page of Swords, the 3 of Cups, and the 7 of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So I'm going to point out some of the zodiac signs as well as they come out. So if you have significant placements in these zodiac signs in your birth chart, or if this other person, again, if you're dealing with a person, has significant placements in these signs, that is further confirmation that you are watching the right pile. We have, as I said, heavy air sign energy. Did I say that? Sorry, I'm already getting kind of mixed up here. But the 7 of Swords is a card of Aquarius, more specifically. But the Page of Swords is talking about all air signs. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, all of those could be relevant here. And the 3 of Cups is Cancer. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the underlying energy with the 7 of Swords coming out in reverse. This card is saying that there seems to be some kind of secret that is going to be revealed, some sort of secret information, I feel. Some piece of knowledge or insight that you weren't privy to before. And I feel like it's going to be somewhat of a game changer for you, because we have this Page of Swords and this 3 of Cups. And so it's making me feel that with the Page of Swords especially, that you are going to receive some form of communication, or again, some form of information that seems to clear things up a lot and maybe bring about this change in the wind. Because of this 3 of Cups, the Page of Swords can indicate that the information is going to come from a friend or someone that you trust, someone that you have a close connection with. But the Page of Swords with the 3 of Cups could simply indicate that whatever this piece of information is going to allow for some sort of peace being made. Because the 3 of Cups is a very friendly and warm and harmonized sort of energy, which talks about people seeing eye to eye, people enjoying each other's company. Now, if you have someone in your life that, again, there is some sort of tense energy with, and it has been going on for a long time, and you seem to have a very difficult relationship, then it might not be this be all end all situation. It might just be something that kind of soothes the situation as it is right now and maybe lessens the tension that is in the air. But if you resonate more with the scenario of having all of these tense energies and these tense relationship dynamics in your life that are not specifically tied to you, but that just affect you by you being around these people or having to be around them quite a lot, then it could also simply indicate that there may be some sort of communication that takes place that brings about this state of peace for a while, or where things kind of calm down and it's easier for people to see eye to eye and maybe even understand where they are coming from. And this whole understanding or more harmonious sort of energy seems to come about because of some sort of truth that is revealed or that is opened up about. And even though the Page of Swords usually has somewhat of a defensive energy about it, yes, it's open, yes, it's honest, and yes, it's direct, but it also has a form of, again, defensiveness, being slightly on the fence and careful. Ultimately, there seems to be some sort of vulnerability here that sets this whole thing off because of the Seven of Swords, which seems to indicate again that something that has been hidden previously is going to sort of come to light or is going to be revealed. And that seems to be leading to this state of things calming down. But the Page of Swords and the Three of Cups, I'm just going to sort of throw it out there that it could also talk about hearing from some sort of friends that you maybe haven't spoken to in a while, that you haven't heard from in a while. And yeah, they may invite you someplace, or they may just kind of reach out to you, and that may be a really sort of positive surprise as well, which again may kind of help you to get out of that hectic everyday energy that you are in. So yeah, that's something as well. But let's also see how you can prepare for this surprise that is coming about. Wow, okay. So we have some fire sign energy coming out now. We have the Page of Wands and the Ace of Wands, with Four of Cups being the underlying energy. So both the Page and the Ace of Wands are simply talking about fire sign energy. So basically all fire signs, but the Four of Cups is more Cancerian energy. So it seems like Cancer is a very specific or a very significant sign. And again, Aquarius was coming out as well. So those two signs are the most important right now. I'm gonna start off with the underlying energy here. With the Four of Cups, it feels like one of the best ways that you can prepare for this surprise is actually to try and come out of this more passive energy. The Four of Cups can talk about being somewhat separated, being in your own space a bit, and maybe somewhat oblivious to the opportunities that are around you, or the people that may be trying to reach out to you, that may be trying to offer you some signs, some signals, something like that. But yeah, the Four of Cups is slightly more isolated and secluded. So with the Page of Wands and the Ace of Wands, Spirit is saying that you can prepare by getting yourself into more of this like excited or energized state. So again, it makes sense that you have been more in this passive state where you have been trying to find ways to calm yourself down or find ways to separate from the madness that is around you. Again, regardless of whether this is between you and someone else, or whether this is you being surrounded by some sort of dynamic or relationship that is very turbulent and that affects you. And by the way, sorry if I keep like repeating these things or these scenarios 100 times, but it's just really difficult to try and get the messages out and not get them all muddled, and to keep some form of organization to these messages. But yeah, the Page of Wands and the Ace of Wands are talking about getting amped up, getting energized, getting fired up and willing to see where this opportunity goes, to actually have this enthused energy about the possibilities of the future. I feel like this especially applies to the scenario where you have this tense relationship with someone else, because there may be this tendency to predict or have this form of assumption that you already know how things are going to go and how this whole relationship is going to cycle back to the usual dynamic, even if this peace offer comes about, or this information, this vulnerability comes about, and things slightly calm down, there seems to be this predisposition, or this assumption that things are going to go back to the way they have always been. And I feel like with this, Spirit is kind of saying that try not to have any preconceived ideas, and try and have a very open mind. Try and maybe have more of an active part of it as well. Because, yeah, I feel like this Four of Cups is saying that maybe there has been a lot more of this passivity, or even like tuning out or shutting off in some sense, especially emotionally, because this is a Cups card. So with all of this fiery energy coming out, it feels like it would do you a lot of good to actually get excited and maybe express some form of enthusiasm, express some form of open-mindedness, and allowing things to actually develop in a new direction. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of Sagittarian energy, by the way, because for some reason I'm just feeling this, the sense of adventure, the sense of open-mindedness, being open to things surprising you and people surprising you, and seeing things in a whole new way, allowing them to become something different. And that may actually make a huge difference. But let's also see what sort of hidden opportunity does this surprise entail. Wow. Okay, whoa. These were really sort of dramatic, the way that these cards flow out. So we have the Five of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and the Tower as the underlying energy. So sign-wise, with the Five of Cups, we have Scorpio, and the Eight of Cups is Pisces, and the Tower is a card of Mars. So both Aries and Scorpio are significant here. Okay, so we have this Five of Cups and this Eight of Cups, and they are both somewhat difficult cards, or complex cards, at least I should say. We are dealing with cup suit energy, so it's all very much to do with emotions and relationships. And so this is further confirmation that regardless of the scenario you resonate with, there is some sort of relationship dynamic that seems to be very prevalent in this energy that we are dealing with here. And the Five of Cups is obviously talking about all of the sadness, the loss, the emotional lack that exists. And I feel like it also seems to hint at all of the long history. There seems to be a lot of history that exists in this dynamic. And again, it kind of takes me back to this card here, where it seems to have been going on for a long time. And there seem to be a lot of emotional scars as well as a result of this tense dynamic, or this tense energy. But the interesting thing is that the Eight of Cups is here as well, which says that there is the possibility to actually leave this heavy emotional baggage that you seem to be carrying with you behind. That you can actually walk away from this feeling of disappointment and sadness and grief and loss and hurt and everything that is encompassed in this tense dynamic. And the interesting thing to me is that we have the Five of Cups and the Eight of Cups, which means in between these two cards, there is the energy of the Three of Cups. Again, this Three of Cups over here that we already got previously, which says that, again, there is this possibility for some sort of unity coming together, harmonizing, or at least seeing each other with clear eyes, seeing each other with understanding, with compassion. That seems to be possible here. So again, it's not saying that the whole history or this whole past and emotional baggage is going to be erased. It just says that it's possible to finally leave it behind, because both of these cards are saying that there is nothing there. There is nothing that this past baggage and this hurt is actually offering you. It's not giving you anything. And I love that we're getting the Tower as the underlying energy, because this is the most powerful form of change that we have in this whole tarot card system. It's saying that you actually have the possibility to completely transform the way that this relationship or this dynamic exists. And I feel like it's not tied to anything like physical. It seems to be tied to perception and the way that everyone involved sees things. So it all really comes down to a mental shift of some kind, that when that happens, and when there is an opening to some form of like communication and actually coming together and listening to each other's sides, hearing each other's sides out, then I feel like there is a true possibility for transmutation, like for complete reforming of this dynamic, or the way that things are between you and this other person, or you and these people that are around you. So yeah, wow, this is such a, like again, this is such a charged up energy, and I find it really interesting that we're getting all of these lightning bolts or these charged up sizzling energies that are coming out over here. Yeah, that there is the actual potential of changing that, of actually grounding that energy and sort of coming together or finally hearing each other. I feel like that's the main thing. It almost feels like there has been all of this like shouting or all of this back and forth, but there hasn't been actual listening. There hasn't been actual hearing of what the other person is saying. That's really where this whole like opportunity lies in here. But let's look at some sweet little supportive mantras from spirit regarding this whole reading, something that you can take away with you from this reading. So let's see what we get. Wow, okay. Yeah, we are getting exactly 2 cards, so that is perfect. So we have, okay, I'm gonna get to these cards in a second. I'm going to show you the underlying energy first. We have, I thank my body parts. Example, I am thankful for my hands and for all the ways they help me. So I kind of feel a message of just gratitude that seems to be at the center of this. Feeling gratitude for the simple things, for the things that we maybe take for granted. And just reminding ourselves of the good things that we have, and it kind of makes me think back to this hummingbird, because that seems to be the thing that you are sort of like focusing on, or that you are doing, so that you could keep yourself in that more calm state of mind. But the cards that you got are, I am not my past. Yeah, see, I love that we're getting this card specifically, because with the last tarot cards coming out, with the 5 of Cups energy specifically, there seems to be heavy emphasis on the past and whatever happened in the past. So just reminding yourself that you have grown and you have changed, and this other person or these other people have grown and changed as well, even if that hasn't happened at the same rate and is not as noticeable. Change and development happens all the time, even if it's minuscule. So just reminding yourself that you are not your past. I feel like there is all of this potential for things to be better in the future, which seems to be really significant in this whole story that we have been talking about. And we also have, my fears do not control me. And I love that, again, this little frog is carrying a sword. So see, again, it's kind of reminding me of the Page of Swords energy here as well, which has all of this courage and boldness as well to hear the truth and to express yourself clearly and honestly as well. So yeah, you have what it takes to stand up to your fears, and yeah, I feel like it's just such a sweet little reminder that you are more powerful. So yeah. But wow, pile number 3, I'm going to leave it here. These were the messages. I truly hope that they gave you something useful, that you got something from them. I felt like I went kind of into that energy, and it feels really significant. So hopefully I did the messages justice. And if this was your reading, please let me know if you actually got something valuable from these messages. If you're here, by the way, if you made it all the way to this point and you're still here, then please leave me a crown. I'm looking at this tiara, and yeah, leave me a little crown emoji down in the comment section so that I would know that you are here, that you made it to this point, that you stuck it out, and that this reading spoke to you. It always warms my heart so much to know that these messages reach you. So I really hope to see you in the comment section. And I also hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourself. I am wishing you all the best, and yeah, take care. Bye-bye.